Today on Dirt Diaries, we are jacked up to see the Super Saloons in action. I tuck into the best of the food trucks, the street stocks offer up some smashed and bro moments, and the modifieds rip in some laps until the wheels come off. Yep, we're back on the road for another night at the speedway. And can I first say, if you're liking these videos, please give it a thumbs up, comment or subscribe. It would mean the world. Grovelling done, I can tell you we're travelling just 20 minutes out of Christchurch to Kaiapoi. So it was across the Waimak River where we catch our first glimpse of an event sign. Then we see tonight's venue, Woodford Glen. Chuck a right, then we can see we're in for a date with the Super Saloons. It must be said, after all these rainouts, it's so good to be going to the speedway with blue skies. Look, there's not even a cloud out there. Then it was up to the gate where tonight's ticket would set us back $25. Just inside the entrance, the club had their street stock winners parked up, 1, 2 and 3 NZ on display. Then we ran into the pits TV who, yep, you guessed it, were in the pits. And we got our first look at a few of the Super Saloons in action tonight, 19 in total on the grid. And you just know I love a soft toy strapped to the inside of a car. Here's 36E Dale Bigwood, who is known as the Snowman. And 1NZ was looking in great shape, but spoiler alert, wouldn't look this good at the end of the night. The Power Racing team was here from Nelson, and as 86 trundled off to Scrutineering, I couldn't help but notice some empty gaps. Behind me here is normally full of stock cars, but they're not racing tonight, so there's nothing parked here. Yep, I think this is my first time at Woodford Glen without the stock cars or super stocks on the race schedule. Need a power tool for a job? Yep, you'll find one on 44C's roof. And which one of Snow White's friends is this waving out? 15C Cane Botherway is definitely worthy of the racing flames, but count the wheels, 1, 2, 3, 4, they won't all be there at the end of the night. We had some dazzling looking mini stocks on display for the Canterbury Champs, and the production saloons would also be doing a club championship. It was a worthy trip down for the two Wanganui drivers, 48V Ray Jaggard winning, while 434V Brent Hackett came second. A reassuring message here. There was just enough time to check the suspension. Yep, looks good mate. Then it was over to 99C, the chalkboard street stock, to write a message for tonight. The heat was starting to get to me, and while wood fire pizza looked good, there was one thing I was craving as we walked around the track to Runaway Slushy. A cheeky raspberry and blue lemonade. Yep, delightful, and just in time for the driver's parade. You'll quickly learn a kid's favourite driver is the one doing the lolly scramble. And then it was finally time to go racing, the street stocks in action first. It was John O'Garthley taking the first flag of the night. This bloke seems to win wherever we go. And this chap looks like a good fellow, green flags all round. And unfortunately for 1NZ Mark Osborne, a tangle on the first lap of the race, much to the shock of my young mate. Yep, unlucky, that's a sorry looking Super Saloon and a bit of work for the pit crew. But speaking of luck, you know we can't turn down a 50-50 raffle. Take your pick, surely one of them's a winner. The production saloons and mini stocks came out for their races, but with dinner time approaching, it was time to head back to the food trucks, and there was one thing I had on my mind. Anything here take your fancy? Pulled pork was the popular special tonight, but for me, it was always going to be chili con carne with all the toppings. Take a look at this steaming beauty. The modifieds are tearing up the dust, so I was hanging back enjoying my dinner. It might not look that appealing, but it's so good even Indiana Jones would do crazy things to get one. Remember what I said about 15C? Yeah, that's going to need a bit of work. Another flag marshalling as a race starter, and again, another chap with green flags about him. Is this joke getting old yet? Super Saloon's out for another heat, including 1NZ, and look at that, half a lap and he's back out in front again. He'd stay there and take the flag. It amazes me how fast these crews move to get cars back in racing shape. Back to the raffle draw and yeah, nah, just a club donation this week. A quick look over at the pits as the modifieds come back out and this tractor tries to sneak into the race. It begs the question, how many laps could a modified do before a tractor does just one? Is 3 a good shout? Let me know in the comments. The chalkboard car was being a right menace, but I reckon someone wrote "hit me" on it right here. But what did I say? Right menace, and we love to see it. We've come down to Saloon Turn 4 for the Super Saloon race. Will this be a mistake? Will we get dusty? Let's find out. I can confirm there was some dust kicked up, and even with 891C expertly driving the high line, I managed to stay pretty much clean. Modifieds have just wrapped up, and I'm still hungry. Any guesses what I could be getting next? Super Saloons are out for the pole shuffle, but more importantly I've got donuts and caramel sauce and it's fantastic. Speaking of food, things were starting to get a bit chippy on track. The competitiveness was starting to come out and there was a bit of scrapping for position. Don't forget, this is a non-contact class. If it's contact that you're after, you can always count on the street stocks. I just love watching these guys race. G'day mate, hope you've been well. On to the feature race of the night, the Super Saloons and the 30 lapper. There was some great racing in the first few laps, but then, well, I'll let my commentary, or rather noises, sum up what happened next. The officials were left doing their best hokey pokey impression, reorganising cars through multiple restarts, and then a road cone was called in to work some overtime. When it was all said and done, 1NZ took the win in a shortened race after a number of DNFs. Everything was shut up shop and it was our call to leave, and what was a pretty entertaining night at the track. If you enjoyed this, then follow Dirt Diaries NZ for more racing adventures. You won't want to miss the next one when we go to another new track and swap mini stocks for the super trucks.